Beneath the soft glow of a seasoned lamp, in a studio filled with the quiet dust of creativity, stood Elara, a sculptor of renowned skill. Her hands, gnarled by years of shaping clay and chiseling stone, moved with a practiced grace that belied their age. Her latest project was a magnificent bust of the revered Elder Theron, a figure of wisdom and calm. Elara had poured her heart into it, each curve and contour meticulously crafted to capture his essence. She worked in solitude, the rhythmic tap of her tools against the stone, the only sound in the peaceful nights. As the weeks turned into months, the sculpture neared completion. It was a masterpiece, reflecting Theron's serene gaze and the thoughtful lines etched by time upon his face. Elara felt a deep satisfaction, a quiet pride in her creation. Yet, as she stepped back to admire her work one final time before the grand unveiling, her eyes caught on a subtle flaw. A tiny, almost imperceptible chip marred the tip of the elder's nose. It was minuscule, visible only upon close inspection, a slight deviation from perfection. Elara's brow furrowed. She was a perfectionist, known for the immaculate finish of her pieces. This tiny chip, this whisper of imperfection, gnawed at her. She considered mending it. Of course, a skilled hand and a touch of binding agent could easily conceal the fault. But as she reached out, a strange thought stayed her hand. What if this wasn't a flaw to be hidden, but a mark of authenticity? She spent a long night contemplating the chip, the lamp casting dancing shadows across her studio. She thought of Theron himself, a man of great wisdom, yes, but also a man who had lived a full life, weathered many storms, and carried his own share of scars, both visible and invisible. His wisdom wasn't born from an absence of struggle, but from having faced and embraced it. Could this small imperfection in the sculpture somehow reflect that truth? The next morning, the day of the unveiling arrived. Dignitaries and admirers gathered, their anticipation palpable. Elara stood beside her work, her heart a drum against her ribs. When the velvet cloth was pulled away, a collective gasp of admiration filled the room. The Elder Theron's bust was breathtaking. His eyes seemed to hold ancient knowledge, his lips a gentle, knowing smile. And there it was, the tiny chip on his nose, catching the light in a peculiar way. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Some whispered about the flaw, wondering if the great Elara had overlooked it. Others, however, leaned closer, their expressions shifting. Elder Theron himself, present for the unveiling, approached the sculpture. He studied it for a long moment, a faint smile playing on his lips. He then looked at Elara, his eyes twinkling. "You have captured more than my likeness, Elara," he said, his voice soft but clear. "You have captured my story." He turned to the assembled crowd. "Look closely," he invited. "Do you see the small imperfection? It is a reminder that true beauty, true wisdom, is not about being flawless. It is about embracing every part of our journey, including the nicks and the chips we acquire along the way. These are not weaknesses. They are testament to a life lived, a battle fought, a lesson learned. They are the marks of our unique existence." A hush fell over the room, followed by a wave of understanding. The whispered criticisms turned into nods of appreciation. Elara, listening to the elder's words, felt a profound sense of peace. She realized that by choosing to let the imperfection remain, she had infused the sculpture with a deeper truth, a more powerful message than any perfectly smooth surface could convey. The tiny chip, once a source of her anxiety, had become its most profound feature. It was a testament to the beauty found not in flawlessness, but in authenticity and the lived experience. Just as Elara's masterpiece found its depth in a minor chip, so too our lives gain richness from our perceived imperfections. It is easy to strive for a flawless exterior, to hide the cracks and the rough edges we feel we possess. But true strength, true beauty, lies not in the absence of flaws, but in our willingness to acknowledge and even embrace them. They are not deterrents to our worth, but rather unique facets that tell our personal story, reminding us of our resilience, our growth, and our journey. So, the next time you find yourself focusing on a perceived imperfection within yourself, pause. Consider if it is not a flaw to be hidden, but a unique mark that adds character and depth to who you are. Embrace your authentic self, for it is in these genuine details that true light shines through. What imperfection have you learned to embrace that has ultimately made you stronger or more unique? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Let's celebrate the beauty in our authentic selves. Type true beauty if this resonated with you, And don't forget to share this message with someone who needs to hear it.